What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing a weekly market forecast for the following pairs as normal, and we're going to be reviewing the markets and just having an overview and see where we are in terms of current price and current positions. This is like a weekly thing that I'll just do just to hold myself accountable, and yeah, we'll just do a deep dive on the markets, starting from the higher time frames, then dropping down to the lower time frames just to get an idea of where the market is for the specific pairs. So initially we're going to start with gold. So you can clearly see we've got 16 days till the next monthly close in terms of the price action, and at the moment it seems as though if we've rejected above the previous all-time high, haven't really attempted it anywhere close, and at the moment this is still waiting to be closed. So we should drop down to the weekly time frame. So we've had in recent weeks, last week being a red close, and this week also being another red close. So we've got two red candles to look at, and some areas of interest, I would say. At the minute, in terms of the candlesticks and average volume, you can clearly see prices trending up on the weekly time frame. I'll just turn this off. So yeah, price is trending up on the weekly time frame, and overall there's not really much to expect unless at the moment we target this weekly low candle, and the low of this candle is 4996. So if price does push down to that level, I will be looking to potentially take some sell opportunities, as that low forms an area of liquidity. So dropping down to the daily time frame, you can clearly see prices made a bullish push through, and then a retracement, and then another internal lower highs and higher lows, and then price tried to attempt to break all-time high again, and then we initially had a bearish candle on Tuesday, and since then we haven't gone above that. So at the minute, I would say on the daily time frame, if you get a good idea of where we are in terms of the 25/5 displacement moving average, it looks like a disrespect and a close would indicate that the market could be entering lower stages into the upcoming week. The 3x3 is also a good indication. If you apply both of these on the higher time frames, you could have a highly probable setup overall. So this is that on the daily time frame, and I'll just turn off the displacement moving average, and on the 4-hourly time frame you can clearly see this internal price action that we had. So the big sell-off that we had, I'll just remove some of these fibs. The big sell-off that we had, and then a breakthrough, and then you can clearly see there's this consolidation, and then a break of structure which occurred above here, and then price stopped at this region, then again creating another bit of consolidation, and at the moment it looks like price is going to target this area of liquidity, where I have marked out this area of liquidity seems to be a support zone. So I'll just clear this away, and the reason why I say this is a clear support zone is because I had marked a Fibonacci support retracement on the 4-hourly. You can clearly see from this local low this local lower low, we have tested the 0.382 retracement. We've disrespected it, you could technically say, based on the close. So in the imminent shorter term, I would say I think price will potentially push down further here based on where it will lead to tonight, and I expect price to push down further if we break this structure here, and if we target back down to $5,000 an ounce, then yeah, definitely an area of interest. So I'd say for this week, the key important thing is that we keep an eye on the time frame and general consensus of the market. I'll just write here, so keep an eye on the local close, and also tonight CME open. This will provide us information going forward into the new week. Looking for short setups if price changes structure at local support. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for in the imminent shorter term. So if we do break this low here where this rectangle is marked out, then I'll be looking to potentially enter sales this week on gold. So yeah, that's what I have at the minute. And then I do have a daily retracement here, but I guess that's not applicable in the imminent shorter term. So moving over to gold, silver. So silver on the monthly time frame. So let's just get rid of the drawings. So you can clearly see huge rejection from silver. In terms of the monthly candle, we are still currently red. We've had a bit of a flush in terms of price action from all-time high down to where we are now. You know, that's still 30% retracement in terms of the internal price action. Now, what I do see, which is kind of interesting, is number one, this being a local reaction point, and the reason why I say that is because let's just get rid of this. Sorry. There we go. That's gone. Okay, so in the imminent shorter term, I have a weekly fib drawn here, and this weekly fib actually, the daily fib got tagged at this higher low point, right? And this was an incredible zone, let's just say. So it was an incredible zone because the way this closed, and you could have entered a limit order within this region, and you could have continued to take a trade from that point onwards. Your risk to reward would have been incredible. Now I do see another reaction point or another higher low point, but doesn't really tell me much about the consensus of this. So dropping down to the 4 hourly time frame, I would say in terms of the internal price action, you could clearly see a similar setup happening with gold. So the point F.382 and the F3 Fibonacci support is not holding, and I believe if we do break these lows here, so this higher low and this higher low here, then we could target the 618, which will be the F5 retracement, and potentially a sell setup could present again similar to what gold is producing. If we do a expansion, let's just see what that is in terms of, okay, so that's quite a lot, to be honest with you, from a daily point of view. So if price does fail and does fold, I feel like on the daily we do have a big fib target, but on the 4 hourly, this internal price action is not telling me much. What I do see is obviously we broke structure here and we came to this area, then reject down. So I'd say from this high point down to this high low, again, this being a crucial level, we could potentially see price push down to this area of interest. So similar setup to gold, you could say. We just need to wait for price action to come to our zone of interest. So in the imminent shorter term, I would say similar setup. Happening with gold. Awaiting further confirmation prior to entry. Sellers could push market further down. So yeah, I would say in the imminent shorter term, definitely keep an eye on this. Gold and silver kind of having a similar setup. EURUSD on the monthly time frame, let's have a look. So on the monthly time frame, you can see we've had a bit of a change in terms of structure. We've Also, had a lot of selling volume, which has been carried out. And I'm doing an expansion on the monthly just to kind of see where we are. Dropping down to the weekly time frame, we see internal price action on the weekly, with the last weekly candle being bearish, and you can see this internal chop. And at the moment, this price hasn't really been trending as much. But what I do see happening is we've rejected off of this. You could call it an a OP level, an objective point, which was this area, and we've actually closed below it, indicating that sellers are now taking over this market. Now, the reason why I say that is because if you see on the daily, price creating originally back in March, we had a bullish price action, bullish pullbacks, tried to break, and then had another pullback. So you could say that this price action here is where is it? Okay, so this price action over here, so we had a higher low, a breaker structure, follow through, another higher low, and then a higher high, then attempt to break higher, still forming a range, attempt to break higher, and then we had a shifter structure, which then led to new sellers, and then another breaker structure, which led to new sellers. So we expect to see some sort of continuation below that level, I would say. So I would say EURUSD is definitely an interesting market to look at for the upcoming week ahead, purely due to the fact that we could be touching a weekly low here, and that seems like price actually wants to continue and sell off a bit more further. So I'm going to keep an eye on EURUSD. We can see that this expansion told us the homework for everything. You know, an OP, COP, and XOP target met, and you could have entered in multiple areas of these retests, and you would have been flying through this trade. So I would say in the imminent shorter term, I would wait to see what could happen at this local level and if price does continue to sell off, then definitely we could see some selling pressure turn up. Or keep an eye on the higher time frame bias. If price does bounce, then oversee the lower time frame to understand what direction. So that's my verdict on EURUSD currently. So that's that. And then, I mean, in terms of support, also, because you have to bear in mind in trading, there are areas of support and also resistance. You've got a few levels here to look at on the daily. So if price does continue to break that higher low, you got a local low point here. So let's just mark that out. So you got one local low there, another reaction point there, another reaction point there, another reaction point there. So with that in mind, you could then draw your fibs, and then it'll be a bit more easy to identify in terms of where price action actually wants to go next. So you could draw another reaction point here, there, and then another reaction point or a support retracement here, and then one more here, because price hasn't actually gone to that area, or hasn't gone to the areas yet. And you can currently see when a 0.32 and a 618 meet, which would be this area, there seems to be a strong bounce. So internally you could say, yeah, there's a lot going on the chart here, but you could see that in the imminent shorter term, where price currently is now, we could see a bit of a bounce So yeah, again, just keeping a close eye on the internal price action, and yeah, just definitely see if price does sell off, then we could potentially bounce back to this OP level on the monthly. And then jumping over to Bitcoin on the monthly time frame, so it seems to be showing some signs of support coming in on the monthly. The weekly, we finally seen a green day or a green weekly close after many months of selling pressure. Let's just hide this. So on the daily, prices kind of found a local support area, and it seems like as though it wants to potentially give itself another go to push back up. So it'd be interesting to see. I'm currently still in a trade on this pair at the moment because it's a longer term DCA for me. I would say the most important thing to look for is what we're currently going to do at this current level. So if we break above 74, then we probably could push further up. My original TP is to get up to the 2025 open. My stop loss is below 52. So we've also got a level of support at 57. And yeah, internally, currently, you could say the internal price action, even on the hourly, it's consolidating and making higher lows. So the key important thing is that if price continues to do this and it trends up, then we could see continuation of the current price action. But also you need to bear in mind the ETF inflows. If Bitcoin is, a trending or trading asset that other people are looking at. So in the imminent shorter term, I'd say just keeping an eye on this internal price action. And if price does continue to follow through, then we've got quite a few areas of resistance that we need to look at, starting down from the daily. So we'll just have a look here. So on the daily, you've got a retracement down at this low. Your first area of interest would be 74. If we can get above 74, then we test out to 83. But yeah, the most important thing is that we break these highs and potentially push back up, or we could resist further down depending on what the price action presents. As traders, we only trade the price action that presents. So yeah, that's basically my weekly overview for the pairs that I trade. And if there's any questions you guys have, or if anyone want to reach out, please feel free. Have a good trading week ahead. Stay disciplined, execute with your systems, and just follow through and be consistent. It's all about being consistent and disciplined within this industry. So yeah, people, have a good week, take care, and peace out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.